Next up, we have listening, active and reflective. Whoa, this is very important. I'm learning this. We talked about this in the last episode where we talked about being able to listen to someone without interrupting them, allowing them to express themselves the way that they choose to express themselves, without interfering with their timeline, allowing them to fully express themselves, pretty much, right? So that's where we come into this active listening piece, which is very important for emotional intelligence. If you want to display high emotional intelligence, you are a great listener, right? You allow people to speak. You would be surprised sometimes when you just allow people to speak. If someone is upset, just listening can diffuse the whole conversation. You can watch the whole conversation start coming down, right? So now let's dive into the intriguing world of listening, specifically active and reflective listening. Now, listening is more than just hearing words, it's about truly receiving and interpreting messages. It requires us to be present without interrupting. This kind of listening includes acknowledging the speaker verbally and validating their emotions. Okay, when people talking to you, even if you don't agree with what they're saying, you're showing high emotional intelligence when you are able to fight your impulses to want to interrupt them, defeat self. Self is going to want to go on the attack. Maybe they're saying something that you don't agree with. Maybe they're saying something that makes you defensive, right? As we work through our mental health, it's about consistency. It's about maintaining these things. It's not about perfection. So when you find yourself in these conversations, in these tough situations, having the emotional intelligence just to listen is half of the battle. Okay. I told you in the previous episode, I take notes now. I used to be a person that would interrupt someone. Occasionally, I may do it here and there. In my opinion, it shows low emotional intelligence. Whenever someone does it, whenever I'm watching debates, whenever I'm watching TV, when I see someone interrupt someone, they automatically lost the debate in my book. And we got no self-hate debate coming as well. It is amazing. Stay tuned for that. But in my opinion, they've lost the debate, right? Because they had to interrupt someone to make their points, or they had to use ad hominem attacks, a bunch of stuff, but we won't go too far into that. Just stay tuned for that. For instance, think of a challenging conversation where you nod, maintain eye contact, and say, "So what I'm hearing is," this not only shows that you're engaged, but also helps clarify any misunderstandings. So it's good whenever someone is talking to you for us to repeat back to them what they said, because that lets them know that we're actively listening to them. A lot of times conversations go off the rails because people don't feel heard, because people feel like you may be discounting what they're saying or disregarding what they're saying. And that could trigger people a lot of times. But again, if we want to step into this opportunity for growth where we display high emotional intelligence, we want to be able to repeat back to someone what they said. Okay, so you're saying this, you want me to do this, or I did this thing to you and you feel this way, blah, blah, blah. Right? Being able to repeat that back shows high emotional intelligence. All right, now the benefits listening, here are the benefits. Listening builds trust and connection, encouraging others to open up, and it significantly reduces misunderstandings when you listen to people, right? Instead of just firing off those emotional impulses. However, it does require a conscious effort and presence, which can be emotionally taxing, especially in high conflict situations. So when you're in high conflict situations, you may be feeling attacked. You may feel defensive. Again, we go back through our episodes through season 1 of No Self Hate. It has told us about irritability, frustration, and that all of these things are cousins of anger, and how we could go down that anger road when people are talking. So it can be taxing on your emotional intelligence, but you can do it. We can do it. I believe I can do it. regardless of what the conversation is. I have been working on that like crazy, where I'm having some pretty serious conversations, and my main goal is just to keep my beats per minute low. I just want my heart rate low going through this conversation. I just want it to be calm, resting to the best of my ability, right? And I've been really working on that. Maybe that's something you can try, right? How good are your active listening skills? Are you a good listener? Normally, if you're not, you could potentially have issues in your relationships because you're not able to, you know, listen well, and people feel unheard, and then people get triggered, and then trauma can be created when people attack, and all of these different things. It can go down a strange path just from not listening. And I just learned this recently. You have to be able to listen regardless of how you feel, regardless of whether you're in the right, whether you're in the wrong. When people are talking, we must listen to each other and allow each other the space to fill the room with our thoughts and whatever ideas or images you want us to be able to see. When you're talking, we're stepping into your mind, and we're looking at the movie that you're creating with your words, right? But just imagine pausing the movie every time someone, while the movie's playing, just pausing it because you want to say something, right? I don't know if you ever watch movies with people that do that pause the movie. No, let the movie play through. We'll have a conversation afterwards, right? Okay. So, where'd we leave off? Okay, yeah. Have you ever noticed how active listening can transform a conversation? It's powerful, isn't it? All right. So, active listening. We must be better listeners in all of our relationships. Think about it. If we apply patience and empathy in all of these conversations that we're having, patience, empathy, mercy, people will trigger you, people will try to push you, but always have that. My motto is, I forgive people, and I treat people the way that I want God to treat me, or how I want to be treated by everyone around me, right? Including in the realm of my spirituality, right? I want to be treated that way. So I treat people that way. Okay. So just think about that. Listen to people more. It's a powerful thing.